YouTube, it's Mrs. Motomattman. I am just out having fun on my oldest daughter's CRF80. I am so used to saying my youngest daughter's PW50, but I am out on the little Honda 80 right now and just playing around in the yard. Hey, Mac. So obviously the horses are turned out. So this is our back part of our property. This is where we spread a lot of our manure. Ah, don't hit a crabapple tree. Woo, duck. Okay. So this is where we, like I said, we spread manure, and obviously we keep it mowed and everything. The girls will sometimes ride their bikes and stuff out here too. Their dirt bikes, not their bicycles. They do pedal up and down the hill and everything and make tracks. Probably if this had been the space at my own house when I was a kid, we probably would have had ramps for jumping. And it wasn't that I was a big jumper, but my brother was. So, because I raced BMX bikes, pedal bikes, and so my brother was big into jumping. I was more into going fast and everything, but he was more into like the jumping aspect of the racing and such. He would set up jumps and have people lay between the ramps and then he would jump over the people. So he would do that for fun. So anyway, so I'm just out fiddling around, just doing something a little bit different with the video. I ride on the 80 because it fits me just fine. I'm 5'4". I'm sure what is going to happen at some point in time is that my oldest is going to outgrow it, and then it will just become mine. Yeah, so we've got 4.5 acres here. So it's just enough, crab apples, it's enough space for us. I mean, this is ours too. It's just we don't mow it all. Then of course you got the horse pasture. And there's a fence in between because we do where we break it up in the winter time, so that way in the winter they're only beating up the lower portion of the fencing, not the whole fencing. Not the whole pasture, I'm sorry. So we have septic systems, so you've got the lines that come out and across the property and everything, so you just have to be aware of that as you're flying across the yard. Yeah, so if any of my videos I talk about the tractor, there's one of them right there that you can see. And see, this is the turn right there. That's the one that normally my youngest does not want to slow down for. There's a dug-in spot from the tractor making tracks there, so it can get a little squirrely and fun at times. Yeah, so I mean, like if this was mine when I was a kid, we would have had some ramps and some obstacles and stuff, which, you know, probably if my kids were more into like the all-terrains and off-roading and stuff of the dirt bikes, maybe we would have something like that. I don't know that it would be yet though, just given their skill level. But it's fun to play around no matter what. But like I said, what probably will happen is that my oldest will outgrow this bike, and so then it will just always be mine instead of basically me borrowing it to ride. So I did did not, if I haven't said so before, if you hadn't heard it, I did not learn how to ride as a kid. I learned how to ride motorcycles as an adult. So I had an Enduro that we purchased for me, and that's how I started learning, was on my Enduro. The back tire spun out on me. Spun, went to the side. Anyway, I did not learn as a kid how to ride. I learned as an adult. And so I think in some ways that makes my experience a little bit, daggone it. I stalled it. If you didn't notice. Shit. Alright. See, that's what happens is when you start telling a story, the bike sometimes needs to be blown out, and you know, sometimes just even running around here, you're not getting it blowing through all the gears and everything enough. But anyway, my girls obviously have learned how to ride as kids versus me and how I learned as an adult. Gravels can be hard sometimes because the tires move all over the place. See, this, oh, almost lost it. It almost stalled out. That turn right there. Oh, just so you know what that is, that's a backstop. So when my oldest is pitching, she's able to go in the backyard and she's able to just pitch straight to the backstop. Woo! She doesn't have anybody, she does not have to have somebody catching for her, is what I was trying to say. So that's the backstop. So she just went from being 35 feet to 40 feet because she is now she's now in her 11-year-old year for softball. So anyway, that's where she pitches, in the backyard. Wind's blowing. I wonder what happened to my music. I have music in my ear. At some point I will have to video riding the bikes over at my parents' farm. They have 80 acres. So theirs, like ours is more clear, theirs is more farmland because of like baling hay and everything. So theirs is it's different than our property. Somebody's gonna be jealous that I'm out on her bike. That's Tinkerbell, the little one. She is the only female horse that we have. If you don't know, females can tend to be moody. And I'm not talking about all females. Well, really I am. But when it comes to horses, horses can have the same kind of attitude problems as people. So females can tend to be a little bitchier than geldings. A gelding is a fixed male. He no longer can reproduce. A stud, well, obviously studs have their own attitude issues. But mare, like I said, they can be moody and they can be hard to work with sometimes and bitchy, and that's why we only have one. My horse was a gelding. He was a boy. Not saying he wasn't moody at times, but far less than have to deal with a female horse, for sure. Oop, I went all the way down to first. That means I guess. Yep. You run through these gears. I mean, based on what I know, I run through them quicker. Oh, my nose itches. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed my little ride on the 80, on the Honda 80. Hope you had a great ride and enjoyed. So thank you so much for riding along with me today, and I hope you also get out and enjoy your day and get some giggles in. Get some giggles in and have a little bit of fun. Alright, so be sure to leave a little sparkle everywhere you go.